Good morning, everyone. I am Anil from the Department of English. Today I am going to speak about the Victorian Age. The Victorian Age is from 1830 to 1901. It's a time of change. London becomes most important city in Europe. Population of London expands from 2 million to 6 million. Shift from ownership of land to modern urban economy. There is an industrialization and there is increase in wealth, and the world's foremost imperial power is in England. Victorian people suffered from anxiety, a sense of being displaced persons in an age of technological advances. Now England was ruled by Queen Victoria. Her qualities are earnestness, moral responsibilities, domestic priority. The Victorian period was an age of transition, an age characterized by energy and high moral purpose. The early Victorian period, 1830 to 1848. In 1830, the Liverpool and Manchester Railway opened, the first public railway line in the world. By 1850, railway lines connected England's major cities. By 1900, England had 195 lines of railroad and an underground rail system beneath London. The train transformed England's landscape, supported the growth of commerce and shrank the distance between cities. The Reform Bill of 1832 transformed English class structure, extended the right to vote to all males owning property. Second Reform Bill passed in 1867, extended right to vote to working classes. The time of troubles, 1830s and 1840s, unemployment, poverty, rioting, slums in large cities, working conditions for women and children were terrible. Impact on Victorian literature. The novelists of the 1840s and the 1850s responded to the industrial and political scene. Charles Kingsley, The Water Babies, Elizabeth Gaskell, North and South Life of Charlotte Bronte, Benjamin Disraeli, Sybil. The mid-Victorian period, a time of prosperity, a time of improvement, a time of stability, a time of optimism. British Empire. Many between 1853 and 1880 large-scale migration to British colonies. In 1857, Parliament took over the government of India and Queen Victoria became Empress of India. Many British people saw the expansion of empire as a moral responsibility. Missionaries spread Christianity in India, Asia and Africa. Religious debate. Evangelical movement emphasized spiritual transformation of the individual by conversion and a moral Christian life. The view of life was identical with dissenters. The High Church emphasized the importance of tradition, ritual and authority. The Oxford movement led by Newman. The Broad Church was open to modern ideas. Utilitarianism. Derived from the ideas of Jeremy Bentham and his disciple James Mill, the father of John Stuart Mill. Rationalist test of value. The greatest good of the greatest number. Utilitarianism failed to recognize people's spiritual needs. Decay of Victorian values. British imperialism, Boer War, Irish Question, Bismarck's Germany became a rival power, United States became a rival power, economic depression led to mass immigration, socialism. These are the late Victorian period, 1870 to 1901. In the 1890s, breakdown of Victorian values, mood of melancholy, aesthetic movement, the beginning of the modern movement in literature, Oraby Beardsley's drawings, prose of George Moore and Max Beerbohm, poetry of Ernest Dawson. First women's college established in 1948 in London. By the end of Victoria's reign, women could take degrees at the 12 university colleges. The equal opportunities are given for women. Working conditions for women. Bad working conditions and underemployment drove thousands of women into prostitution. The only occupation at which an unmarried middle class women could earn a living and maintain some claim to gentility was that of our governess. Literacy, publication and reading. By the end of the century, literacy was almost universal, compulsory national education required to the age of 10. Due to technological advances and explosion of things to read, including newspapers, periodicals and books, growth of the periodical novels and short fictions were published in serial form. The reading public expected literature to illuminate social problems. Victorian novel. The novel was the dominant form in Victorian literature. Victorian novels seek to represent a large and comprehensive social world with a variety of classes. Victorian novels are realistic. Major themes is the place of the individual, society, the aspiration of the hero and heroine for love of social position. The protagonist's search for fulfillment is emblematic of the human condition. For the first time, women were major writers, the Brontes, Elizabeth Gaskell, George Eliot. The Victorian novel was a principal form of entertainment. Victorian poetry. Victorian poetry developed in the context of the novel. Poets sought new ways of telling stories in verse. All of the Victorian poets show the strong influence of the Romantics, but they cannot sustain the confidence the Romantic felt in the power of the imagination. Victorian poets often rewrite Romantic poems with a sense of belatedness. Dramatic monologue. The idea of creating a lyric poem in the voice of speakers, ironically distinct from the poet, is the great achievement of Victorian poetry. Victorian drama. The theatre was a flourishing and popular institution during the Victorian period. The popularity of theatre influenced other genres. Bernard Shaw and Oscar Wilde transformed British theatre with their comic masterpiece. You can see the images of the Victorian period. Thank you.